Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the very next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido and
Janice Gaunt and
Tom Bridwell.
welcome back from your vacay,
Thank you.
Tom.
Thank you very much.
It seems, we kind of, between the three of us, we kind of live a really fun life.
Yeah,
We
no
do
doubt.
There's always somebody going somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Tom and I are going to Colorado on Thursday.
This Thursday?
Mm-hmm. We have some friends. There are two couples that always come to the lake and hang out with us. And then Tom used to work with these guys. And so we get together with them, and they have we're going to Colorado just to hang out with these friends. So it'll be really fun.
Are you all staying in the same house? Or are you doing hotels?
They have a house that all these guys invested in, and then they use it for like VRBOs, and then we're going to all stay in that. It's like a 3-bedroom. So
Where
I've never
in
been there. Colorado Springs.
Oh, I love Colorado Springs.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've never been to Colorado Springs?
I don't think I have.
You've never been to the Broadmoor there?
I have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have.
But I haven't been in, I don't remember the town at all.
Yeah, if you go to the Broadmoor, you don't need to leave the Broadmoor.
Exactly.
Colorado Springs
Yeah,
is
I
pretty
went
lame.
a long time ago.
I've
the
never
Broadmoor.
experienced Colorado Springs either, but I've been to the Broadmoor several times.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
That's a special place.
It is.
Lots of beautiful deer
Yeah,
and lots of beautiful weather
I know
and
it.
great food.
It'll be great. Yeah, it's right now. I looked at the weather, and the low is like 48 or something.
Ooh.
So it's going to be chilly
Perfect.
at night. Be fun.
Craig just got back from Colorado, and it snowed. It was in the 30s.
Oh.
Yeah, Maureen is there now at Crested Butte, and it snowed yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So exciting. He was going back to the airport yesterday, and he was showing me pictures of the snow on the mountains.
Oh,
I mean, it's
wow.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
already cooling down.
I know. Thank goodness. I'm ready for it.
I got to go watch my boys play football this weekend. Now, this is my first time to see them since they left. And
It's so fun.
it was so much fun.
It's so fun.
Having college players is a blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little stressful
Yeah,
when they
it is.
don't get up fast.
Did they win?
They won.
Good.
And it was down to the minute. The final was 38-34.
Oh, wow.
Carter had a great game. George had a concussion, so he was out this week.
Did he have that playing football? Is that
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, ow.
Yeah, they're playing for the same team, and he got it during scrimmage last week.
Oh, wow.
So he was on the sidelines this week, but they're doing good. They're having fun.
Good.
Yep.
That's good.
Okay, so today we're talking about a subject that isn't always the most fun thing to talk about. However, it happens often. What percentage of couples do you think experience this in their marriage or relationship?
You mean infidelity
Yeah,
or the
infidelity.
fear of infidelity?
Infidelity. That's a good question.
What percentage of married people cheat? I don't know. I don't think it's 50%. I think it'd be less than that. I would think maybe 30%. I don't know.
I would guess that it's higher than we think
Yeah.
because not everybody gets divorced because of it, and or not everybody gets caught.
Well, and I think it. Oh,
What
I
happened?
think it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that felt like there was something furry on my feet, and I realized it was my sandals. Furry on my leg.
That's hilarious.
I thought.
Are you doing
I thought
all
it was
right
a
over there?
squirrel. We were talking about squirrels earlier.
So I said I think it might be a little higher than, well, I think it's higher than research shows because I think not everybody gets divorced and not everybody gets caught.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what is cheating. I mean, I guess we're going to define that, because it can be a lot of different things.
Sure. Physical, emotional.
Well, it could be pornography.
Yeah.
It could be going to strip clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those things can be felt like that is cheating.
So to your point, it would be as unique as the individual and how they define cheating. What is cheating to you?
Yeah.
Cheating to me is any kind of physical and or emotional connection that you're experiencing with somebody else outside of your relationship. So for me, I don't like pornography. That would not work for me.
No, me neither. That to me, that's
an unfaithful act.
I think so too.
I think strip clubs are, but I know that I am very conservative.
I'm the same way though, Tova. I don't.
None of that makes me feel safe.
No,
you're not going to get online and
if you're going online and you're having an orgasm.
Because of a physical connection with somebody else. That's not me.
Yeah,
that doesn't make me feel good.
No, as a matter of fact, no, that doesn't work for me at all.
But I think I don't.
But there are other people who think differently. So I don't think that. I think everybody has to kind of talk about it and define what that means to them.
Right.
Right. And
because I think we've talked about this, Tom, and you don't think that's cheating, right, Tom?
I think looking at porn on the internet is not considered cheating.
What about strip clubs?
Probably not either, but that's not like lucky for my wife. I'm grossed out by strip clubs. She doesn't have to worry about that. Now, porn on the internet, that's a different story.
What do you mean porn on the internet?
I mean, that's something that I have definitely done.
Oh,
but
pornography.
I have not gone to a strip club and will never go to a strip club. They're just disgusting.
Yeah. I've never been to one.
That's just the strangest thing to pay somebody to touch you and let you touch them. That's just gross.
Yeah. Well, and like they're touching 10 people, 20
but
people
like when
in a
you
night.
go to let's say you go to a sperm bank and you're donating sperm, they give you magazines or now they even, I mean, obviously dudes just pull out their phone and they need motivation right there in that weird bathroom, I guess. I've never done this. I'm just going by what I've heard. But I would not consider that cheating.
No, well, that's a medical thing. I mean, that's that's not,
like you need to get a job done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to donate sperm.
If you're experiencing infertility and you need that in order to get going, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like just on the regular, getting off on your phone, if Craig did that, that would not work for me.
Me neither. I'm with you.
Yeah. And emotional, if Craig had an emotional connection with somebody outside of me that he confided in or expressed affection for or shared secrets with or talked about our relationship, that wouldn't work for me either.
Me neither.
It says here that if you've been wondering how common is cheating, the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy reports that when it comes to married couples, between 10 and 15% of women cheat and 20 to 25% of men cheat.
And I think it's higher.
I don't necessarily think. I think that's pretty high.
That is high. I mean, it's 1 in 4 of men.
Yeah.
And I would say I think it's probably pretty even for women.
Well, I can tell you this.
Let's go.
If Tom Gaunt if he were using the internet and pornography and all of that, he's not going to be, I'm not going to be sexual with him. I'm not interested in that.
You're not going to be married to him.
No, I'm not. I probably wouldn't be.
Oh, yeah, because you would want to have a sexual relationship with the person you're married to.
Yeah, but not if he's, I wouldn't want to have a sexual relationship with Tom if he were doing a bunch of pornography.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
No, it wouldn't be attractive to me at all.
Yeah, I would feel the same exact way. I would feel the same exact way. So I found this article, 19 warning signs your partner is cheating on you, according to therapists. So we'll get to see how much we've seen of this, how much we agree, disagree, personally, professionally, and or if we would have a problem with any of these things. I'm guessing that I would have a problem with almost all of them.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, Tom, why don't you kick us off with number 1? We can't hear you.
No problem. They're suddenly unreachable. That's number 1. Here, change is the important factor. If your partner has a job that makes it tough to reach them during certain hours of the day, it doesn't mean they're cheating. But if you're suddenly struggling to reach them when you could in the past, and it's a consistent issue, that should raise a red flag. Cheaters need privacy and blocks of uninterrupted time. Someone engaged in an ongoing affair must be periodically unreachable. After all, they don't want to risk you hearing suspicious voices or background noises.
Ooh. That just stresses me out.
That would just be so bad. I would just be like Lorena Bobbitt.
I agree with this one. If Tom has always been a certain way, in like how much you communicate or don't communicate during the day, and then all of a sudden that changes, I would agree. That'd be like, hey, what's going on with your schedule?
Yeah, I would be suspicious. And, Tom travels some with his job, and he always has. But I've never, ever, ever had trouble reaching him, or he always picks up the phone unless he's, in a meeting during the day. But, that...
He's not unreachable at night.
Yeah.
Or getting back to the hotel at 2:00 in the morning.
I can't imagine. It'd be bad. It'd be expensive.
It would be inexpensive. We'd go on a trip.
We would.
On Tom.
We would go to Hawaii.
For sure.
Okay.
You want 2?
Yeah, 2. Their schedule changes with no good explanation. Most people have predictable schedules, and even if their schedule changes, there's usually a reason that makes sense. Someone who must work late all of a sudden at times that go beyond a reasonable explanation may be cheating, Komen says. That's especially true if this keeps happening when your partner has no new job, promotion, or project they're working on.
So... kind of along the same lines, if there's always been a particular pattern and then the pattern suddenly changes, it might just be worth paying attention to.
Yeah, and the thing, what's really good for me in my relationship with Tom is that Tom works from our house. Now that's good news, bad news.
Right.
But really and truly, he's always reachable. Yeah. And like he's going out of town tomorrow, and we just talked about it before I came. And I didn't remember when he was leaving, and he's going somewhere, Austin, I think, or something. But anyway, I just think I love the saying, I will know what I need to know when I need to know it. And I do believe that sort of thing, information or feelings will come to you if they need to. Yeah, like if all of a sudden Tom was going, leaving the house every day at 9 and had I don't know, it'd be weird.
Lots of new meetings or without a new project.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, their friends don't seem as friendly as they used to be.
Oh.
I know. This was an interesting one to me.
I know.
Cheaters tend to be less careful about covering their tracks in front of friends versus you. And of course, people tend to confide in their friends. As a result, there is a good chance your partner's friends may know what's really going on before you do. Coleman, who's, I guess, one of the therapists that they're referring to, says those friends may end up feeling uneasy and anxious around you because they know something that you don't.
I mean, if you were cheating, why on earth would you tell your friends?
I think guys do.
Your partner's friends.
I don't.
I mean,
I don't. I don't think that any of my friends would find out, but I experienced this in my marriage. Like, relationships with some of our high school friends started to change, and I didn't know why. It made no sense to me. And it was like, we used to hang out all the time, and then we didn't hang out all the time.
So because they knew that you, yeah. So they were trying to keep their mouth shut, and they wanted distancing. Yes. And if I found out that one of my friends' husbands were having an affair or cheating, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it were a really good friend, I'd probably tell him.
Yeah, I would too.
I would probably tell just an acquaintance.
Yeah.
But.
And I would have to have proof, but if I knew it, so, yeah, I think that this was a red flag in my marriage that I didn't understand what was happening. But I never saw it as a red flag about our marriage.
Well, most of us trust our partner until we have reason not to trust them.
I totally trust him.
And I think that the younger me was very trusting of all of it.
Me too.
And then the older I've gotten, I'm like, I'm just not quite that trusting.
I'm the exact same way. Yeah. Well, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
That even really good people sometimes really mess up. Another thing that was really hard on me when everything kind of came into the light is how many people that Topher worked with knew about it. And how many of the guys in his office were doing the same thing. And they all kind of bragged about it.
They had a club or something.
Yeah. Shared pictures. Like it was really tough. And I was never close with those people, but I didn't know why. But Topher was very close with them.
Yeah. And but I understand they're not around you because they're just probably busting at the seams wanting to tell.
Yeah, or they're engaged in
or they're doing it the same thing. Yeah.
And they had their own little boys club over here, and it was like, shh, let's keep the wives over here. So I never would have thought before that all happened that any of those things were red flags.
Yeah.
But after I found out, I was like, oh my God. I was reading through some of these today, and I was like, almost every single one of them.
Really?
Was happening.
But you just didn't know it. You just trusted.
And I would have never put them together as, it's because he's cheating. Like, I would have never put, we're going to read a couple more that I'm like, damn straight that was it. That was so happening. And I wasn't putting that all I didn't have the information, and I wasn't looking for it.
Well, you trust until you don't. And then once you don't, or you get any sort of inclination, then you're like,
radar's way up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Then you get real good at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately. Okay, Janice, you want the next one?
Okay, they have a decrease or increase in libido. It's more common for cheaters to decrease the frequency of sex at home, given that they're getting it elsewhere. Oh, goodness. Coleman says, but sometimes they try to have sex more at home. Guilt-ridden people may increase lovemaking, Coleman says. Some will do it so to cover their tracks, but some may do so to satisfy a partner so that the partner will not be seeking sex at a later time when the cheater knows he or she won't be available.
Good Lord.
I know.
It's hard to believe that people have sex with their spouse and then just go have sex with somebody else. That's really hard on me to think about.
Well, they just clearly don't have any sort of real ethical or moral code
Compass.
about that, that they just wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to. I mean, I just don't get it either. I really don't. I mean, and I think if people are not getting enough sex at home, then they need to talk about it, and that they need to go see a therapist, or they need to really, so that you're not, it's. Unfortunately, it's relatively easy to cheat.
Oh, I think you and I could, if we left here, we could be in somebody else's bed in 2 hours if we were motivated.
Yep.
I don't think it's hard to cheat at all.
No, I don't think it is either. I mean, I think it's pretty accessible. The thing that I always think of when I think about people that are cheating, women who are cheating with a married man, or that they're having sex with a married man, I always think to myself, how could you do that to another woman?
I knew you were going to say that.
There's just not, we have a girls'
code.
We do.
We should.
We should.
I remember you said that to me one time when I was in therapy with you, and I was like, you know what? That's exactly right. Like, damn on these women who did that, like, without any thoughtfulness about what this would do to another woman.
I know.
Like, okay, whatever with you and this guy, but like, why didn't you think of me? Why didn't you think of our children?
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of these people are mothers.
Yeah, I had a friend years ago who lived across. We all lived on the same street, and her husband had an affair with the neighbor across the street, and we all hung out together.
Oh God! Those stress me out so bad.
I know. It was just terrible, and my friend, whose husband cheated, I mean, she left. She said, "Get out and don't ever come back." Which was hard because she has little kids.
Of course, it's hard, but it's. There is a woman who goes to yoga in the same studio that I go to, and she brags allegedly because one of my friends who's an instructor there. She works there and she brags that she sleeps with married men.
Oh, she be ho.
Yep. And she tries to talk to me sometimes in yoga because she works there, and I think she thinks she needs to be friendly to me because I take yoga there. It is so hard for me to be kind to this woman. Because Craig's sitting right there, and I'm like, and for that reason, like, you break girl code. Like, you would mess around with Craig.
Yeah.
Like, I know you and I know what you're about. And I have a very difficult time being kind to her.
Yeah.
And I am, but I don't want to be because she breaks girl code.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you are hurting another woman.
And a whole family.
Yeah. A whole family.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, you want the next one?
Sure.
Is this 5 or 6?
This is 5, I believe.
Okay.
I know which one we're stopping at.
Okay, perfect.
They're suddenly paying more attention to their appearance.
I think this is a dead giveaway.
Sometimes people decide to focus on their appearance as part of a New Year's resolution or choose to start a new fitness routine for health reasons, but they're usually pretty open about it. The reasons and timing must make sense. If your partner is suddenly wearing cologne or spending a lot of money on new clothes, and it was never their thing in the past, it is not unreasonable to inquire why. If their answer doesn't make sense, it should raise a red flag.
That this was happening in my marriage.
Really?
Oh yeah, Topher got all into CrossFit. He was like a CrossFit nut. And I was like, why are you killing yourself right now?
So he was trying to firm up and get those
real
abs
good. Look
tight.
Extra good.
Now, did he dress up too? Did he change
Tover's always been a really good dresser, so that wasn't new. He always had a killer wardrobe. So that there wasn't anything new there, but he really stepped up his fitness. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I mean, CrossFit's dumb for people who are like, I do yoga. I want to go on a walk. I want to look relatively, I'm 53. I want to look relatively fantastic, but I don't need to, I'm not running a marathon. I'm not going to go to an hour and a half Orange Theory class. Like, I just am going to.
Well, you're not going to go to any of those places looking for somebody to fool around with.
Or kill myself to look a certain way. Like, I'm very content with how I look. And I'm not going to do one bit more than what I'm doing, which I think is just fine, so that I can up the ante. You know, I think this is a sign. And I think for women, if they're like spending a lot of more time or money on their Botox and injections and wanting to look better and younger, and like, I think you can go overboard on this stuff.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think sometimes there's a reason.
Yeah.
So the next one is very obvious. Their phone habits change. This can include a range of things like changing their password or keeping their phone on them all the time when they used to leave it sitting around. In committed partnerships, it's not uncommon to know your partner's password or be able to pick up their phone to look at something on the internet or snap cute pictures if your phone isn't nearby. If your partner seems possessive over their phone or gets mad when you ask to use it, they may be hiding something. Can you imagine getting mad at Tom because he needs your phone because he doesn't have his phone?
No.
I would be like, give me your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to go in the other room for about an hour and I'll be right back. Because what are you hiding? Like, Craig and I always have our phones out. And Craig can look at my phone.
Oh, yeah.
He knows my password.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, so another thing. I remember one time, this was right before Topher got caught. And I don't care if my kids see my phone, use my phone, search something on my phone, look for pictures on my phone. And I remember one time Topher went off on our kids because Anna Prin had picked up his phone to look up something. And he went ballistic on Anna Prin and the kids. Like, you never pick up mom or dad's phone without asking permission. You never use it without asking. You never touch it without. I'm like, why? They can do all of those things on my phone.
Of course.
Like, what in the world? And those men that go to the restroom with their phone, come on. Like, you can leave your phone at the table and go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
You know?
You can leave it on the kitchen countertop if you...
Yes. Yes. And everybody should know your password.
Uh-huh.
I definitely... I mean, this is kind of like a dead giveaway.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
It's worth paying attention to, I would say.
It is.
Okay. You want the next one?
Okay. They don't speak about your future together anymore. Well, there you go. You might want to call an attorney. In a relationship, it's normal to speak about the future in terms of we and us, which denotes the two of you see each other staying together long term. It can definitely be concerning if you feel like your partner is checking out of the relationship, no longer making future plans or talking about long-term intentions, Burns explains. The sign doesn't necessarily mean that there's infidelity going on, but it does mean it's time for a relationship talk so that you can see if you're still on the same page, working towards the same shared goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that would be, I wouldn't have thought of that, but that's a really good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you're not dreaming and scheming and planning vacations and getting excited about your future together, I would pay attention to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if all of a sudden they're not talking about it.
Yeah. Or they're not interested.
Yeah.
In.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to go to Vail next summer? I don't know. We'll talk about that. I mean, if Craig said that now, I'd be like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Where should we stay?
Yeah.
I'd be so excited to talk about future and plans. And I mean, the other day we were talking about things that we want to do with our grandkids together. And those are fun conversations to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Tom, you want the next one?
Sure. They become emotionally unavailable. In the same vein, if your partner once shared their emotions, thoughts, and feelings with you at length, but has suddenly stopped or is offering empty answers when you ask how they are, it could be a good idea to put your feelers out for more signs on this list.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
These pictures that they're putting with
I know. I wish we could show them because they are real. I mean, this woman's boobs in this picture is very interesting.
They're definitely not cuddling.
Yeah, they're definitely not cuddling.
Yeah.
So yes, for sure, I would think that this would be, if you used to share a deep connection and you see that starting to fade a little bit, I would pay attention. Mm-hmm. A lot of people get unhappy in a relationship. Like maybe your partner tends to be avoidant. And over time, you have just felt a little more lonely than you wanted to in the relationship. And so instead of saying, hey, I'm feeling a little lonely, or hey, I want to emotionally connect with you more than we do, or like, then you're out one night and some other guy starts paying attention to you. And it's like I say to people often, like, rarely do I think that people wake up and like, yeah, today's the day. I'm going to just blow up my marriage and blow up my relationship. And I think I'm going to go screw that girl in my office, or guy in my office. But I think that relationships start to have a slow fade, and over time, it can have a slow fade over time, and so it lets these little things creep in that really just have no place. But like you always say, use your words.
Yeah, and I do think that a relationship is not at 100 all the time. Mm-mm. It's going to wave. It's going to ebb and flow. And sometimes you're feeling really connected, and sometimes you're not, or you're tired, or you're not feeling great, or it's just I think we have to be careful about expectations of people, of expecting somebody to just be all over us all the time.
Yeah.
But I do think that these signs it makes sense. It really does.
Yeah. They're pretty spot on.
They are.
And it is what I experienced, but I wasn't adding the things up. If you're experiencing one or two of those things, it might just be a little,
for sure,
mountain or valley in your relationship. But if you're listening to this and a lot of these are adding up, then I'd pay attention.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
Okay, the next one, what they say and what actually happens does not up. Okay, that's called lying. So yes, if Craig was lying to me, that would be a problem. This is often how cheaters get caught. Maybe your partner says they needed to do something that doesn't add up, or someone said they were with slips that they weren't.
They were with
the truth is easy, but lies are hard to keep straight. Objective evidence supports truth, but often conflicts with lies. Sometimes they might simply opt out to not say much at all. People usually share intimate details of their day with their partner, but when they're cheating, they tend to shift to the new fling. As a result, they end up telling you less. Remember, in committed relationships, it is normal to tell your partner, where you will be, who will be there, and what time you're expecting to be home. If your partner is dodging these questions, or you find out that they aren't where they said they'd be, or with someone different, then your suspicions might be justified.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Craig lied to me about any of that stuff, that would be a ginormous problem.
Yeah.
And a huge red flag.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's just, like you say, it's just normal to say, you know, for somebody to say, okay, I'm going to go out with my friends and have dinner, or I've got a business call that I'm going to go to, and I'm going to probably be gone till about 7 or 8 at night or something, you know, and I don't ever think that that's something that, it doesn't make my gut pinch, but if I have in the past too been cheated on, and I have felt that real punch. The gut was like, girl, this is not right. You know, it's something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's something. And if your gut, I mean, it's actually one of the ones on here.
Oh, it is?
Yep. That your gut. So we'll talk more about that. But I think there's, if you're paying attention, or even sort of not even paying attention, and there's some discrepancy between what they're saying and what they're doing, or who they said they were with and who was actually there, or what time they're going to be home and then what time they actually come home. I think there's something to pay attention to.
Yeah, me too.
You want the next one?
Me, Tom? You want it?
Sure. I'll take it. This is probably a good halfway point after this one too, by the way.
Okay. Perfect.
They always seem stressed or irritable. When a cheater's energy is staunchly focused on not getting caught, they understandably may have trouble enjoying themselves in a day-to-day task and activities. If your partner seems on edge, but work, home, family, and social lives seem stable, it may be worth investigating.
This was a huge issue in my marriage.
Oh, yeah?
But I had no idea why. I remember asking Topher over and over again on several occasions, you just seem so irritated. Like, you...
He probably feels guilty.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course. And he was
trying
irritable,
to keep it all, all together. Yeah.
And he was irritable with the kids. And I was like, we have a beautiful life and we have great kids. Like, you seem just really agitated all the time. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I mean, I really couldn't put... I was like, we have a good marriage. We have fun together. We have great friends. We have great jobs. I don't understand why you're so agitated.
Yeah, interesting.
But, and you know what else? He did not sleep good.
Oh,
He would have panic attacks in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Like wake up and like jump out of bed and have massive panic attacks in the night. And I was like, why can't you sleep? Like, just, all of these things should have been adding up. But like,
well, but you don't, I mean, you trust people until you don't, until you have something pretty clear before you to think, God, there must be something going on. And I guarantee if you think that and you do a little investigating, you'd be able to find it. Yeah.
Ugh. This kind of makes my stomach hurt.
I know.
Because you think about all the people who've gone through this. I mean,
it's awful.
The trauma is
awful.
Very real.
Yeah.
And my heart really goes out to people who experience this in their marriage or any relationship
I
that
agree.
you're in, that you want to be able to trust somebody and you can't.
For sure. Yes.
Okay. Well, we have 8 or 9 more to do. So we'll stop here and then next week pick it up with the back half.
Okay.
We hope y'all have an amazing week.
A faithful week.
Yeah. A faithful week. Stop your shenanigans, will ya?